What is going on, everyone? Today we're taking a look at the RTX 5060 Ti. This is the Windforce model by Gigabyte. We've got the 16 gig version, and we're going to be checking it out in Borderlands 4 today at 1080p, 1440p, and 4K resolutions, and we'll be pairing it with the AMD 9800X3D and 32 gigs of RAM. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. What is going on, everyone? We are diving into Borderlands 4 again today, and we are at 1080p, and we're at 99, 100 FPS here at low settings. Again, we have the RTX 5060 Ti. It's got the 16 gigabytes of VRAM on it, and we've got it paired today with the AMD 9800X3D and 32 gigabytes of RAM. All right, so let's just jump up here and see what all we can make happen. So we're at 101, 105 FPS, around there, about 100 FPS on low settings with no upscaling and no frame generation. Let's just kind of go through these settings rather quickly so we can get to the good stuff. All right, so from low to medium, we're going to see a little bit of a drop in performance, but it's still going to be pretty good. All right, at 79 to 80 FPS here with no upscaling and no frame generation. So we can keep working on this, and I just want to implement some DLSS right when we get around 60 just to get that frame rate to boost back up and just keep working through the settings that way. All right, so we're just going to see what we can do at 1080p and then 1440p and then at 4K. I've got chapter markers set up so you'll be able to follow along and jump to the section that you care about the most. All right, so let's just jump into here and go to high. So on high settings, we are looking like that gives us about a 60 FPS experience. Now, what I will say is right here, I would probably recommend doing some DLSS. This game, while it does have a smooth frame pacing, it doesn't have the highest frame rate, if that makes sense. So if I do comment that it is smooth, that is because it is smooth. However, the frames are just not that high. The frame time graph is nice and flat, but you know, we would expect to not have to use DLSS on 1080p, but such is life. We are going to use some DLSS. Let's just jump over here and do that now. Actually, let's go to very high. Let's just see how bad it gets. All right, so very high. This is again with no DLSS upscaling. Of course, no frame generation. That's about 50 or so FPS. I selected this area just because it is kind of open, got some different segments in it, and I did get a lot of swing in my performance depending on where you're at here. But you know, it is a nice nice area to test in because I killed all the enemies and I don't have to fight the whole time that I'm doing this test, so that's a positive. Yeah, it tends to drop down a little bit up here for some reason, but it all is pretty consistent with what I've seen so far in the game to this point, which is about 20 minutes in or so. All right, so let's just jump over and